Hello my friends. As a response to a very good input to one of my previous videos about the Montana 700i, here's a little video showing you the differences in route calculation between the 700i and the 276CX, a very important difference. Let's take a look. The problem is that both Garmin units can only use routes for automobile navigation which have less than 50 points. So what I have done here is creating a long route. You see from my home in Stockholm, quite a crazy route up here going to Sverige. That route is over 500 kilometers long. I called it test 54 points. Here it is. And you see, if you look at the info, it has 54 points and is over 500 kilometers long. That route has waypoints and via points. The waypoints are those which are slightly more black. Let's see if I find one more here. Here, that one here. That is, you see, there's a little bit darker writing. That is a waypoint, while the other ones here have no alarm. These are via points. So that's a difference. Via points and waypoints. Altogether, these are 54 points in that route, as indicated here in the info. I have also created a track from that route, just as a control, simply by control click, create track. This is the track, and you see it here. It basically is exactly as the route should be, of course, here in Basecamp. So what happens if we transfer these now to the units? Let's take the 54 points. Oh yeah, wait, I need to say something else. The transfer settings. The transfer settings are quite important for that. There's one trick here. What I've done is activating in the route transmitting settings that when the route is transmitted, it says route points, and I think it means via points are removed from the routes. So via points are removed from the route at transfer to the unit. And I've also checked the second option here to send the original route, also the one with all the 54 points, in case it needs to be recalculated later again. Okay, so what will that do? Let's see. So to summarize this again, there are three categories of points making up routes. Waypoints, which have an alarm connected to it, so it means you will get some sort of proximity alarm. Via points that are basically used by yourself when you create the route to force it on a specific road. And there are invisible shaping points calculated by the software, by Basecamp, which you do not see in any list. However, if you would export that route as a GPX file and open it, for example, in a text editor, you would see that there are many more points in there than these 54 that I have created here. So those are shaping points, and shaping points can only be used by a very small number of GPS devices. Actually, to my knowledge, only by the 276CX, but not by the Montana series. So let's try that. So let's transfer this route to 276CX and see what happens during transfer. Test 54 points, and I'm just moving it up, drag and drop to the 276, and it's synchronizing. And now we should see that there are two versions of that route. The one with the 1 behind it is the one with the 54 points. So that is the one that was transferred because I had this second option checked, keep the original route, and the 54P route is really reduced. All the via points are taken away and only the waypoints are there. Okay, so far so good. So what happens when I want to activate that route? I'm going to routes, I'm taking the 54, should be that twice there. There it is, the 54.1. So that is the original one, the unreduced one. You see that also here. There are plenty of waypoints in there. and I say menu, activate, follow roads, please, yes. It doesn't work. Only 50 points can be used for on-road navigation. That is bad. Garmin, why are you doing that? However, if I take the other one that has been transferred, the one here, as you see, this one has only the 5 waypoints, no VR points. Do the same thing again. Activate, yes. Follow roads, yes. Now something interesting happens, which takes actually a very long time. It's importing the shaping points that are somewhere hidden in that route, invisible to all us, and that will take quite some time. You see that here, 1%. So let's in the meantime take a look at what the Montana does. Let's go to the route planner, and we see also here we have the 51p route, which we cannot edit actually. I didn't find a way to see the points in there. That is also interesting. There's nothing either here, so you cannot really edit that route. But if I take that one, that's the original one. And want to run that one. Here we go. You see that it has all these points there. We're all there. 54 points. Oh, oops, I think you see it's doing a rough calculation there. And say go. And yeah, that's already a first indication that something is happening different. It asks me which activity and which calculation method it should use. And it also says 50 points can be used for on-road navigation, not more than that. Okay, let's try the other one. The reduced route. And you will see right away that this looks totally different, right? See the green thing here, that is the track actually that I'm also displaying here on the unit. A track calculated from that route. So if I'm starting that one, again, what activity and what calculation method. That is actually the settings I had chosen in Basecamp. And what it's doing there, let's see. I'm not sure it has satellite reception. Maybe I would need to go out there. Oh yeah, it's still calculating. Okay, it's doing something. Come on, yeah. So worst route, yeah. And you see already here, green one, the track, purple one, the created route. It's totally different. So it has not really imported any shaping points. Here it gets very obvious. This whole loop thing here around here is missing. So yeah, that doesn't work. The Montana is not using the shaping points, which with 276 is still importing. Takes some time. So here, to get the exact same route in the Montana as you have here in Basecamp, you basically need to use the map that is loaded into Basecamp when you connect it. You will see here in the routes that the map of the Montana will show up. So you need to use that one, and you need to have the exact same avoidance settings and activity settings in both the software and the unit. But you still have the limit. You cannot go above 50 points, so not more than 50 waypoints and via points combined. And that is not good. I mean, some people will say, wow, 50, that's a lot. But I mean, if I'm going riding here in the forests and want to go on a specific road, these tiny, now I don't have a map, these tiny forest logging roads here, which I'm riding, then you really need to set the points in a distance of maybe less than a few kilometers to go exactly there. If you just go from A to B, of course it's much easier, but not if you do a detailed route planning. So the 276 is still importing. I'll give it a few minutes and I'll be back. So here we are. The 276 has done its job. It has imported the shaping points. It has calculated the route, and you see maybe that the green line of the track is lying here over the purple line of the route. And it's following that exactly. Even that it has a different map loaded, doesn't matter. The shaping points force the route exactly on the same roads or in the same shape as here in Garmin. That what you saw here actually was that area up here somewhere. Well, so depending on where your point of usage is, your emphasis of usage, either you can live with the 50-point limit of the Montana 700 and have a unit that also works very nicely for hiking, cycling, for geocaching, whatever. Or if you want the best possible navigation functions, you need to go for the 276CX, which is, to my knowledge, the only current model that uses shaping points. Sad, but true. Garmin, why are you doing that? Well, okay, my friends. See you sometime in the future again. More videos to come.